Hi, this is Andrew Morton from Flint Youth Theatre and you are listening to WFOV 92.1 LPFM Flint.
La familia Mendoza empieza así el día. Por suerte pueden terminarlo así. El bosque, más cerca de lo que crees. Entra en descubreelbosque.org y encuentra el bosque más cercano. Un mensaje del Servicio Forestal de los Estados Unidos y el Ad Council.
Hi, my name is Heather Marola-Kale with the Flint and Genesee Chamber of Commerce, and you're listening to WFOV 92.1 LPFM Flint.
Okay, Sarah, I'm dropping you at Emily's, and Josh, you're going to soccer, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and by the way, when I pick you up, I'll be wearing my short shorts.
What?
No!
Yep, me and my short shorts doing my daddy dance. Your friends will love it.
No!
Well, I might change my mind if you buckle your seatbelts.
Okay, we're buckling up.
See, all buckled.
Whatever it takes, keep them safe. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
If you're sick of the madness, caught in the chaos, and you need help, call Flint Odyssey House, 238-0483. Actions, attitudes, and behavior. We can help. 238-0483. Odyssey House for a new way of life. Just call. If it's you, a friend, or a loved one, there's help. You don't have to do this alone. 238-0483.
Hey Flint, it's Dr. Lee Bell. Join me Saturdays, 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock for the Jazz Jacuzzi. It's a 3-hour set here on 92.1 WFOV.
Whose opinion is it anyway? I'm Vic Johnson. Whose opinion is it anyway? Right here, Fridays from 5 to 6, and then Saturdays from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. Don't miss the 11 a.m. Saturday rebroadcast. WFOV 92.1 FM. Whose opinion is it anyway? With Lady Candace and me, Victor Johnson.
It's 1 o'clock.
It's Saturday.
Love you too. Hey, miss you too.
How's it going?
Hey, Chris. Hey.
Get everything together. Welcome everybody online.
Welcome.
Welcome, Donna.
Hey.
How you doing, girl?
Fantastic and getting better.
Are you really?
Yes.
Are you really?
Yes.
Are you ready for this?
I guess so.
How's the weather treating you?
Oh, my God.
Are you excited?
No.
Wait a minute. Why not?
The other day, it was beautiful. Yesterday, it was a hot, flaming mess. And today, it is... it's okay.
Well, listen, we already got one of those warm enough to be outside rains, which we really don't
which
get.
was the day before
was
yesterday.
Was that Thursday?
Yes.
Thursday, we got a nice...
yes, it was the best.
It was.
I love warm rain.
It was nice. 60-something degrees.
My goodness.
And wet. So everything's growing,
Mr.
right?
Daniel.
Everything's growing.
Hey.
All right. So there's no snow in our future then, I guess. You think it's done?
No. You know, usually this weekend we usually get a snow. Possibly tomorrow.
Are you kidding me? Historically, are you real? For real?
Seriously, because Whitney's birthday was yesterday.
Okay, yeah, I saw that.
Usually we have snow on her birthday or that weekend.
Really?
And usually her birthday falls in the Resurrection Easter Sunday-ish, if you could, time zone.
Okay. I'm just making sure we got audio here. Yeah, we got audio there online.
Awesome.
I feel good.
Awesome.
So I got to ask you how your week went.
It went well.
Well doesn't sound good enough for you.
Well, it went well for the simple fact that I am well, people keep, because, usually when I go to my regular job, I put makeup on or I wear a hat all the time. And that was because I didn't want to. How about that?
Okay, yeah.
But then in my listening of my online mentors, show up the way you want to be seen.
At jobs?
No, period.
Wherever
I want to be seen as a multimillionaire, so I need to show up as such at all times, not just when I feel like it.
Okay.
So I need to walk in what I want to walk in. How about that?
I like it, but most millionaires are grubby, right? Eclectic and eccentric,
so
and they're not wearing gabachi and all that kind of stuff.
And I'm not, nor am I.
Okay.
But I'm presenting myself as I want to be seen, instead of how I want it to be seen. I want to project my future in my now, if that makes any kind of sense to you.
I'm a law of attraction kind of guy, right?
Yeah, so I decided to walk in my now.
So what does that?
My future now.
What does that translate to? Do you got to go shopping? Or
no.
So
it's actually more of an attitude adjustment.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask. What have you changed? What have you changed with this revelation?
Attitude adjustment. I no longer come in saying, I hate this place. I come in saying I own this place.
Okay, so did you throw away the sweatpants that you were wearing?
I was wearing my work uniform.
Oh, okay.
So I spruced me up.
Oh, I see.
Inside and out.
Okay.
So I can be that multi-millionaire to attract the kind of things that I want into my mind and my world.
So you know what I'm going to say? Is that step 1 or step 2?
Have you been listening to Abraham Hicks?
I have not.
Oh my God, it is. So what I had been doing was step 1, which is the conflict. Step 2 is recognizing step 1.
Right.
Step 3 is changing your mental thought. Step 4 is receiving. And step 5 is acknowledging the fact that when you are back at step 1.
Okay.
And being able to go from step 1 to step 4 without it causing a great issue. But another thing is that I had been walking in anxiety.
Walking in anxiety.
Yeah, so a lot of times I would have this nervous energy that I was dealing with.
Just life in general, or
just life in general? Certain triggers would cause those things to flare up. Now that I am using a natural product or a couple of natural products, I'm not feeling those anxious feelings, because with the law of attraction, not only must you think in a certain way, you also have to have the mental fortitude to be able to change how you feel about certain things. So instead of feeling anxious about it, I have a peace about everything. Does that make sense?
Well, having a piece of everything is always good.
Right. So I'm no longer in that
calm
state.
Calm is good.
Yeah, and that's
calm is good.
And that's the drink I've been drinking. It's called Calm. And it's
so now I have got to ask you this.
It's simply a magnesium.
Okay.
Flavored magnesium.
And how long do you have to be on these things?
Actually, it works immediately.
And does it have a half-life? I mean, you got to do a
no,
booster every 6 months?
No, it's supposed to be once a day. Once a day.
Wow. See, that's what concerns me about these things. If you start taking all these one-a-day things, you won't have time to do anything else.
Well, no. It's just a drink. You just drink it.
Well, we got that drink.
Water.
We got the Hirataki fruit drink. We got the green bottle drink.
But this is the thing. When you do those things, because of the nutrients that they give you, you don't have to do much of anything else. Okay. And that's where where people are missing it. They think that you must have a solid food that you have to work at and all of that. And that's not necessarily so. But you still have to train your body into that. Because you will go through, when you go through these changes, you do go through hunger crisis. You could be full, but because you didn't actually chew to masticate a food. And that's why they say, chew your drink. Because it tricks your mind into actually thinking that you are chewing a food, a solid.
It doesn't care what you chew.
It does, and that's what makes our body so remarkable, is because you don't necessarily have to be doing like exercise. You don't have to actually exercise for your body to think that you're exercising. You can sit in your chair and you walk, and your body actually believes that you're actually walking. How about that?
Well, yeah, we are our thoughts, right? So if you think you're walking and you are moving your legs in a walking manner, why would not your body correspond to that?
Right. So most of our issues is mental.
Okay.
If we can change the way we think about things, we can change the whole diaspora of our lives. Oh my God. So what I've decided to do, instead of looking at Flint and saying, oh, this is a terrible, I said, oh, this is so beautiful. Look I see the beauty in Flint now. I started that this morning.
Did you?
Yes, and I'm going to continue to do that because there are so many weird things that are happening.
Well, back probably about 7 years ago, I was going to start a television show that highlighted block clubs and block clubs that were doing positive things in the neighborhood. So I got a call from my friend Ted Jankowski, and he's driving from San Francisco. He says, Paul, what's the name of that restaurant you went to when you were in Pismo Beach? Because me and the boys went to Pismo Beach before we went to Ted's house.
Right.
And we picked up some clam chowder from this famous restaurant.
Oh, my God.
On Pismo Beach.
Real clam chowder.
$38.
For some clam chowder?
For the clam chowder. I took to him. We ate another $40 while we were there.
Oh, my goodness. I would love to have tried that clam chowder. I like clam chowder, but man.
It was fabulous. But I told you that to tell you this.
Yeah.
He's on the phone on the highway asking me what the restaurant is, so I had to go to my photo album to remember the name of the restaurant.
Okay.
So, in going to the photo album, I passed by all these pictures of these beautiful Flint homes on the north side of Flint. Where their yards were manicured, the gardens were beautiful, the rocks and the bricks were painted the same color.
Okay.
And it just reminded me, I said, I wonder what they look like now, is what I said, because these are maybe 8-year-old pictures.
Okay.
So I think I might go back.
Okay.
And just see if these people are still as excited about keeping their properties up as they were at the time.
Yeah.
Because I think they should be applauded. Because there's blight all around them, but yet these houses stuck out.
Isn't that amazing? But I'm realizing that people don't understand that they are causing the demise of their neighborhood. People ride down the street throwing trash out of their window. Why?
Because it's not in the car. I don't have to clean it out of the car now.
Yeah, but there's a garbage can right there.
I don't live there.
Oh my God, I was at the gas station and there's a trash can right there.
And
they threw it right out so I picked it up and threw it in the trash can.
I did that to a girl. Watched her do it. Let her watch me pick it up.
Yeah.
And put it in the thing, and
she got
cussed
angry
me out.
Right.
So I took a picture of her license plate like I was going to turn her in.
You should have said, ma'am, I like a clean city. I don't know about you.
I said, I live here.
Okay.
I live here.
I like a clean city.
I said, you wouldn't dump this in your living room. Why are you dumping it in my backyard?
But guess what? She would.
Possibly.
She would.
See, she couldn't have been 19, 20
That's why I said she would.
Yeah. Yeah, they're no closer to the big picture.
No.
But still, I mean, I remember the CETA programs back in the day. And
I
we
don't
used
know.
to.
What is that?
CETA was like a summer youth program.
Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. Somebody that was like
And they
one
would
of my
hire the
first
kids,
jobs.
and the kids would come through the neighborhood like the army.
Yes.
And clean it up. But I wanted to do something a little more ownable.
I was gonna say
Where
that
you take, like,
entrepreneurship.
Well, yeah,
with it.
even right. Where you take a block,
Right.
and you turn that into a block club. It's the
Oh
Elma
my
Street Block
God,
Club,
this
and
is-
every kid on Elma Street between the ages of 9 and 14 gets a summer youth job.
I like it. I like it.
You
And
know?
not only give them the job, but ask them, how can you turn this into a business for yourself?
I don't see.
Take it from this
I mean,
block.
I'm sure there's laws against working kids that young.
Not if there's not.
It have to be with their parents.
I
It
don't
almost have to be-
necessarily think it is if it's a entrepreneurship. There's so many
There's a
young
program probably. If you turn it into a program instead of
Right.
quote unquote a job,
Right.
and the wage becomes a stipend instead of a wage.
Right. So yeah.
You could probably do that. But could you imagine
I think
taking
that would-
each street
And because I'm learning that adults don't teach kids. They do,
Explain.
I think kids teach more adults.
Explain.
Like out of the mouths of babes, kids say the darndest things, and some of the things that they say, because they're honest. You know what I mean? And a lot of times,
Let's say unfiltered.
and usually it's honesty from their standpoint.
Yeah, that's true.
It could be brutal, but it's honest. It's their
reality,
truth.
right?
Right. And we need to listen to kids more often because we can learn a lot, because we think that we know everything. Their minds are fresh, and a lot of things that comes out of their minds they're seeing it from a different standpoint, and we need to pay attention sometimes.
You know what I do for fun? And I just did it this morning with Paul Jr. We sat and tried to figure out how to make storage containers more ecologically friendly. And maybe a half hour.
So what did you
40
come up
minutes.
with?
Oh, we came up with 3D printing. We came up with melting old tires and pouring them into a mold and making the storage containers out of the old car tires. Came up with a whole bunch of things, but then we finally thought, I says, there's a million storage containers out here, and why don't we just reuse those?
Right. But some of them are they don't function well.
Well, not only
We
do
have
they-
to find a different way to use them because
they're hard to move.
they're hard to
So
move.
my thought was, if we could make something lighter that you could tow behind your car, to your site and all that kind of stuff, that it would improve on the storage container construction phase or fad or whatever you want to
Okay.
call it. But that was just a fun,
Yeah.
let's brainstorm. Let's
Right.
work out the kinks. How
Right.
could this be done? How,
Right. Right.
And we we're worried about cost, and we were
Right.
being grandiose and
Right.
build
right.
this and that.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
told him
yeah.
about a 3D printer I saw. They were printing houses. They have
you been
they
over
put
to-
concrete in it and print the foundation of the house.
Have you been over to?
Oh yes, I'm a fan of Factory too.
Oh my goodness! I took their screen printing class.
So now, are you a screen printer?
I am. I've taken the class. I just have to go get my ink.
Oh, okay.
do what I need
do
to
what
do.
you want to do. So what do you want to do?
I have some things in my head.
Girl, I got a whole line. I got a nationwide line that I need somebody to take control of. You want to be my marketing manager?
Marketing manager,
distribution, and branding supervisor.
I'm not cheap, right?
I understand that. I will give you.
Did you not hear that I'm working towards my multi-million?
I got no problem. I'm gonna make you a millionaire. Your 10% commission off of what you sell is gonna make you rich.
Okay.
Because the 90% is gonna make me real rich.
Okay, I got that.
You see what I'm saying? All we gotta do is get it out there. It's a no-brainer. It really is.
Sounds good. Sounds wonderful.
So I gotta tell you a story.
What's the story?
The story is about my youngest child. Well, actually, the story is about my vehicles. I got
several.
All of them in the shop.
Every last
one of them's off the road, including Marcus called me, and finally his Mini Cooper. Wow. Hadn't been running for a little while because he's dealing with some stuff, and then he goes out, he starts it up, it won't start up. Mm-hmm. He goes to open the hood up, and the little wire that pulls to open the hood breaks. Can't open the hood up. So he thinks about it for a couple days, figures out online what he's supposed to do. So he goes out there. You got to take the front tire off.
Oh no!
Front bumper off. Get in and unhook the latch. So he did that, and when he got the hood open, there was a guy in the parking lot, luckily, that gave him a jump. The car started. He said, "Yeah." He turned it off. He put everything back on. And went to start it again, it wouldn't start.
He had to take the wheel off, the bumper off, and all
No. He's got the hood open.
Oh, okay.
He's got the hood open now, so he could work on the car. So he just he decided he was going to call it a day, and he put the hood down gently so it was still open, and started walking home. And he passes by a police officer, and he asked the police officer if he could get a jump. And the guy says, we usually don't do it, and if I was real busy, but you caught me at a good time. Well, where are you? And then he ends up coming over, give him a jump. Well, to make a long story short, they work on it, and it won't start. Oh, no. And they're trying to troubleshoot it. Marcus just gives up. So he goes to get his keys out of the car, and the cop closes the hood of the car.
Oh, no!
I could just imagine Marcus's face.
I could.
You know? I'm saying, like, how wasn't that your whole conversation in the car back to the place of all the work you had to do to get the hood open? I didn't even think of it, Dad. I didn't say anything.
Oh, man.
Hey, he was doing me a favor. How could I get mad,
Oh, man.
So now he's got to go and do that all over again.
Wow.
But not really. Because we, had some insurance or some towing on our insurance. So we got it towed over to a garage. And they looked at it and they said, well, we think it's the fuel pump. But before we can diagnose anything beyond the fuel pump, we got to change the fuel pump.
Really?
It's like you should be able to bypass a fuel pump, and
that is so
pour
ridiculous.
gas in the carburetor or bypass it and blow the gas or whatever to test it. You know what I mean? But a real shop would have another fuel pump there, or a generic fuel pump that they could use to troubleshoot with, or something.
Right.
There's got to be some kind of electrical signal that a fuel pump generates when it's working and when it's not working. So there's got to be a way to diagnose it, at least in my mind. But they want $650
for the fuel pump.
Change the fuel pump.
Really?
$650. That's just to start to tell us what's wrong with the car.
Why? Why so much?
Because of the tire. I think it's because of the kind of car it is. I mean, it's a Mini Cooper. And they think that everybody has a Mini Cooper, I guess you should. The headlights on the dumb thing are $250.
You have got to be kidding me.
$250 for the headlight.
Are you sure this is not a Mercedes-Benz?
You would think it was. You would think it was.
Jaguar?
They put so much stuff on this light that is ridiculous. I mean, there's a big plastic box that contains electronics for each headlight.
And people snub Mini Coopers.
I don't know if those are those. Now that I'm thinking about it, at one time they were making headlights that would track your wheels, so when you went around the corners, the headlights would turn too.
Right.
So I don't think those are those, but that would explain $250 for a headlight.
Oh my goodness.
So my suggestion was the dollar store, and one of them police flashlights that take 9 batteries.
Stick that on in there.
Make sure that last battery is sticking inside the car. Turn that thing on when you needed it.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
We're gonna have to. So the other thought was to find junkyards.
Right.
In highly populated Cooper
communities. Where would that be?
I'm thinking like San Francisco, Los Angeles, Colorado.
Are they cost effective on gas?
They get really good gas, and they're really fast. They're just they're scary fast.
Really?
Girl, I got in the day we bought that thing. I got in it, and I was on the expressway, and I got on at Hamilton Street. Mm-hmm. I was doing 110 miles an hour before I got off at 2nd Street.
Be kidding me. Really?
It was amazing.
I think I want a Mini. I think I want a Mini Cooper now.
I looked at Marcus and I said, "Sell it."
He said, "No."
I like it. Oh, and it feels like a go-kart. It's a wonderful little car.
I think I want a Mini Cooper.
You know, I think it would be a nice car if it's your second car.
Exactly.
You know, and you can have the big car for
like my Expedition with my driver.
Yeah.
And then my Mini Cooper is what I drive when
I feel like
I want to drive.
Right, when you're cute, take the top down.
Yeah, and let the wind blow through.
Well, and a Mini Cooper would go good in your land barge. You know, when you get that mobile home, that big mobile home.
Yeah, the one that I plan to have because I think I'm going to sell my home and live in that.
It would tuck right into the back, real nice, and wouldn't take any room away from your master suite.
And my thing is, I want to have lots of spendable or cash or funds, not necessarily readily available, but to know that I have it there. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to spend it on big homes and cars. I want to be able to play. I want to play.
Well, what do you call playing now?
I want to travel. I want to dance, go ballrooming in California.
All right, you gotta agree. You gotta have a place to lay your head.
That's what my travel home thing is for.
Okay.
I want to be more mobile with my home.
Why not just buy a home in every place you want to be?
Because then I have to pay taxes.
Or not even buy a home, but lease or rent. You can have a 20-story apartment in Paris.
Okay, and then have other people living in there, paying for everything else.
Well, your staff would live there.
And then I have my spot.
Your staff would live there while you weren't there. You'd have to keep a concierge on duty.
But then I have to pay those people.
Of course, but you're not worried about money. Money is not the issue. You're happy that Hector has a job.
I like it.
You're happy that Consuela and everybody else that, or whatever, whoever you're employing, that you're making a better life for them.
I like it.
That's your give back.
I like it.
And the fact that they can live there when you're gone.
And I'm gone all the time.
All the time. And you put them up in a hotel. And you put them up in a hotel when you're there.
Oh, yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
They get to live in your spot. And you say, listen, we come in the second week in August. Go on and book you to Radisson.
The penthouse.
Whatever whatever.
Yeah.
I was listening to Oprah interview with Trevor Noah. Uh-huh. And he's trying to figure out if does anything normal happen in your life at her level. You know what I mean? He said normal. He says like there's no toilet paper in the bathroom. You know what I mean? You sit down and you look over.
I pay people to keep my bathroom stocked.
That's exactly what she said. She said every time I go, the toilet paper is folded over. Right. It's folded over into a triangle.
So I never know that I'm ever low because I pay people to keep my potty stocked.
Then she complained about how much avocados were, and she said that was just ridiculous. I picked my own avocados, so I bought an avocado farm, and he said, that stopped being normal right there.
Yes, and when stuff gets ugly, you buy the thing.
So she got upset about paying $3 for an avocado, so she bought an avocado farm.
That's what I'm gonna do with my wine.
But everybody else still paying $3.
That's what I'm gonna do with my wine.
What wine?
I'm gonna buy me a vineyard.
You like wine?
I like wine from time to time.
That wine is mess you up, girl. That stuff is stronger than you think it is.
I don't drink it that often.
The smile on your face says you're not telling the truth.
I'm seriously. I don't drink it that often.
Oh, really?
Because I could tell.
What's often?
Maybe every holiday, maybe.
Really? And
not even every holiday.
And there's some left in the bottle?
Oh, my God. It's there for 2 weeks after I pop the bottle.
What I like is the sangria.
I love sangria.
Because you can really mess it up. You know what I mean?
And I like to add stuff to it.
Girl, bananas, strawberries, blueberries, whatever you got or want to go get, you can put in a sangria.
Yes, but I do that with my wines because I don't, because it's kind of, I dilute everything. I have to have ice in it, so it's never
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, see.
Why don't you just chill the glass?
Because it doesn't do what I needed. I think I don't like it. That's why I put ice in it.
Do you dilute your gravy?
When I make gravy?
Yeah.
My gravy tends to be a little thick. Yeah.
Same principle, right?
Yeah, no.
You're putting ice.
Gravy don't make my head like this.
Oh, this is true.
Wine makes my head like this, and I don't like that feeling.
So why are you drinking the wine? Because you like the taste?
Because I like the taste of it and it has to be a certain. I like sweet wine. I don't like. I haven't matured to the place where I like my dry wines.
Is that maturing?
That's what
people or snobbing.
Say. That's what. Oh, I haven't become snobbish
in your wine selection.
In my wine, but I love cheese and apple with my wine.
See, now you're the one that got me off cheese. Don't start with cheese. You know what I mean? I'm still mad at you.
I don't do it often, but I do like my apple and cheese sometimes if I have my wine.
Apple and cheese. I take in Granny Smith.
It doesn't even matter what kind of apple it is.
Well, you know, I've been on a bean soup.
Oh my God!
Kind of binge.
Thank you for the bean soup. It was magnificent.
Wasn't it delicious?
Oh my goodness!
I have made a pot of bean soup for the last 8 weeks.
And what was so amazing? It was the smoky taste that was in
that was the chicken wing.
Oh my goodness!
I did smoked turkey wings.
It was amazing
in that batch.
And then I liked the fact that it wasn't thick.
Super thick, yeah.
It was nice, and had a nice liquid consistency to it. Thank you.
Well, you're more than welcome.
And the weather constitutes today for a good bean soup. The only thing was missing was homemade cornbread.
I brought you some Ritz crackers.
But you know, Ritz is not my favorite.
What?
I like Hi-Ho's.
What?
They're sweeter than Ritz.
Are you kidding me?
I'm a taste connoisseur, so certain
we're gonna have to do that test. Oh, hold on, guys. You guys watching online?
Most black people like Ritz.
Are you saying that I am not a Ritz lover?
I don't like Ritz. I like Hi-Ho's.
Why no.
Or Townhouse.
Really?
I like That's my favorite. That's my go-to.
I think you've been hypnotized by them L's.
Possibly, but I don't like Toll House cookies. I don't like their cookies. The taste of any of their cookies.
The Chip Ahoy's, none of it?
I don't like Chip Ahoy's. I don't really like chocolate chip cookies. I like homemade chocolate chip cookies with one chocolate chip in it. I like the rest of the cookie. I'd rather have the
dough.
No, the cooked cookie.
The cookie dough instead of the chocolate chips mixed within it.
Yes, I like the stuff.
Well, you know, I've been making the Lazy Man chocolate chip cookies. We bought the little Toll House packets that have the little squares. I don't even cut the squares. I just throw it on the baking sheet and throw it in the oven and get one big cookie out of it.
Wow.
And then we just cut that into pieces.
Okay, whatever floats your boat.
It works because there's a little bit of cookie for everybody. You know, the crispy cookie on the outside.
I've been making a gluten-free peanut butter cookie.
That sounds so horrible.
It's amazing. It has no flour
and no flavor.
Oh my God! It is the best peanut butter cookie ever. It has the peanut butter, the egg, the sugar, the vanilla. If you choose, I choose not to use vanilla in my peanut butter cookie because it takes away the flavor of the peanut butter.
Right.
So it's an amazing cookie. And when I first did it, I thought it was going to be terrible. It was amazing.
Let me remind people that they are listening to WFOV 92.1 LPFM Flint. It's Our Voices Radio, and we're a community service of Flint Odyssey House. We're always looking for testimonials. So if you have a story of recovery, look at me, I am washed out there. I am not that beautiful. There you go. I'm gorgeous now. If you have a story of recovery, a story of overcoming a struggle, whether it's an addiction, finances, just dang water, Give us a call at 810-259-9789. It's 810-259-9789. Check us out online. Do the Facebook thing. Do the YouTube thing. And, maybe in the comments. I need to know how many of you are hi-ho folks. That's what I want to know.
I am a hi-ho.
This is Team
No,
Ritz.
no, not hi-ho. I like hi-ho, but my favorite is townhouse.
All right, so you want to be townhouse?
Townhouse
All right,
all the way.
Donna is Team Townhouse.
Woo, and I'll probably be solo.
And I'm Team Ritz. All right?
Solo.
Now, let me let you guys know that Malcolm has been known to eat Ritz crackers.
I don't give a hoot.
I just made that up. But 9 out of 10 famous people
eat Ritz
crackers.
Possibly, okay.
I just made that up, too.
And that makes me even more special. I like to stand alone.
Well, short bus special is not necessarily where you want to go, Donna.
Whatever. I like my own shine. I ain't got to shine with nobody else.
Did I tell you? I was having a conversation with Paul Jr. And we're talking food. And back in the day, there were a whole bunch of corned beef sandwich shops in Detroit.
Okay.
And as what my dad would call a night treat, like on a Friday night, he would roll in about 10:30, get us up out of bed, and he'd have this bag with these corned beef sandwiches in it. Wow. And you knew he had been to the corned beef hut when you saw the bag, because it was nothing but grease. If he'd have made 2 more steps, that bag would have just gave way. You hear me? So I was explaining to Paul Jr. that the corned beef brisket used to have about a ½ inch worth of fat across the top of it. And I showed him the one I bought, and it says they call this lean, and they cut it all off so we don't kill ourselves with this stuff. And it's disappointing.
Yeah.
Because that's
what people don't know. That's where the fat and the bone is where you get your flavor. So when people say, I want a boneless chicken, you want a tasteless chicken.
Exactly. So now, not unrelated, I go out. We run out of bottled water here at the house.
Okay.
So I run to Walmart to get some bottled water. Stop.
What type of water do you drink?
I didn't get the Nestle's.
Thank goodness.
I bought the Aquafina.
Ugh, that tastes like feet.
Is that what that was? I thought it was my lower lip. It tastes like feet. Well, I'm glad I did. And I think I bought you a bottle. I'm glad I didn't give it to you. Well, I was conscious of Nestle. And I didn't. That just wasn't an option. And then the Aquafina was the next one next to Fiji. And I'm not buying $24 or $4 bottle water. No, that wouldn't happen.
See, I've gotten to the point. Before the water crisis, all I bought was steam distilled.
Steam distilled, really?
And it only comes in gallons.
Okay.
But then once they start giving us water, I started getting some of the water. The only one that I liked the taste of was the Niagara, and it was a couple of others that I liked, very few.
Okay.
So I'm back to buying my steam distilled water.
Nice. Well, I was telling you that.
I'm sorry.
To tell you that in the course of going out there, I passed by a brisket that had a ½ inch worth of fat on the top.
Oh my goodness.
I looked around. I looked to my left. I looked to my right.
Make sure wasn't no doctors around.
I thought it was a candid camera thing. I thought they was waiting to, punk me. This old man out here. So I picked it up and I looked at it. It was huge. It must have been 18 inches long.
Wow.
By 3 inches, maybe 3.5 inches thick. And they wanted $42. Well, I quickly did the math. I sized it up and I said, I can cut that into 5 pieces real good.
Okay.
5 pieces of 5 corned beef sandwiches each. So I'm down to $10, less than $10 a piece. Plus, when you cut it into the sandwiches.
Right. It's even more.
Right. I'm down $2 a sandwich.
Right.
So I scooped it up, put it in the buggy, smiled and grinned. I didn't text Paul. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. I text Paul Jr. I got it. Got one. Got home, read the label. Proud of myself, and it was a beef brisket.
Oh.
Not a corned beef brisket.
Right.
So I'm distraught. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I know I can do something with it. You know.
You could have froze it.
Oh, girl.
Listen, you could have froze it and had it for Father's Day cookout.
What I tell you about YouTube?
Oh, what'd you do?
The minute I found out that I had foupard.
Oh, foupard.
I like that word.
I do too.
I'm going to say it again. Foupard.
I like the way you say it. Foupard.
I messed up. And bought this beef brisket. I went online and they explained that corned beef had been pickled. And I can actually, one of the guys,
beef yourself?
You know the guy Maxie Meats on, he came into the Bean the other day and I told him about it. He said, well, you can pickle it in a bucket, 5-gallon bucket. I can give you the stuff.
Doing?
No.
Oh.
No, I decided not to do that because I found.
Not even with a piece of it?
Not even, well, that's what I'm thinking. I could do it with a piece of it because I have enough to do it. But I found like 5 recipes that I want to try.
Okay.
The first one had me putting it in a big cast iron skillet and searing it on both sides. Smoked up the whole house.
Oh.
Smoked it up. Then I took it and I put it into the crock pot. And I cut up, I usually julienne my onions when I cook with them, but I chunked the onions. And I did a sweet Vidalia and a red onion. And I just dumped it in the crock pot. They said let it cook for 6 hours. I let mine cook for 13. Because I had it on warm instead of low for the first 7 hours.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, okay, well, we know tender when tender is tender. So I cranked it up.
Okay.
And then the last hour.
Okay, go ahead.
The last hour before we were about to eat it, I threw in butter noodles.
Ooh.
It was delicious.
So that was a form of beef stroganoff?
It was a pot roast. It was kind of like a pot roast a la stroganoff, kind of, because the noodles were still firm enough that they weren't mush.
Right.
But it was delicious.
It
was delicious. And I messed up. I was supposed to cook it in beef broth.
What you do?
Water.
I still would have been. It turned into beef broth.
I was supposed to put some Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire.
Yeah.
That stuff. And I went to the cabinet and there's only a little bit in the bottle. So I dumped the bottle in there and I didn't get any more. I did go get some beef broth the next day and added it to it.
Why? When you do with water, it makes its own beef broth.
I understand, but I thought it was going to add more beefy flavor to it or something. I just felt that it was supposed to be there, and I wanted to put it there. And I realized exactly what you said. I'd already made my broth. Duh.
That's the best broth. You don't have any of the weird stuff.
Well, I think it stretched it, if nothing else.
Yes.
It stretched it without diluting it.
Right.
We got some really good broth in that water that I made, and now instead of diluting it with more water, I diluted it with store-bought broth, which probably is horrible, right? I was going to do bouillons, but I couldn't remember how to make... Well, I digress. I knew there was more to it than just throwing a bouillon cube in there.
Not necessarily.
You can just throw the bouillon cube in there?
Yeah.
See, I thought you had to melt it on a spoon like heroin or something like that.
No, just throw that thing in there and let it do its thing.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll consider it. Well, I got 3 more pieces.
Okay.
Put them in the freezer.
Okay.
The other was a grilling recipe where you'd grill it on your grill for 11 hours with indirect heat. But they said you had to keep it at 350 degrees.
With indirect heat.
With indirect heat. So that's a lot of tending.
Yes.
In 11 hours. That's just at least once an hour putting charcoal on.
Yeah.
So I've got to figure out when that can happen. And I did talk to him, our guy over at Maxie's, about the Father's Day cookout.
Okay.
And he has convinced me to go with ribs instead of short ribs. or instead of the country style ribs.
Okay.
And to do chicken thighs.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to do chicken breast or drumstick.
Yeah. That's my go-to.
That's what I think.
Is thigh.
Oh, we've been tearing some thighs up.
Yeah, I don't like breasts. It's not. You have to know how to cook a breast to keep it moist. So that's why I don't particularly care for turkey, because you have to give that the same kind of attention you do a chicken breast.
It matters if you chunk it or slice it.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I like it chunked and, for lack of a better word, second fried in the skillet. You know, where you glaze it or whatever, brown it and get nice and a little crispy to it. Mm-hmm. And then you throw it on top of the salad.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Fabulous.
I don't particularly care. I don't care to or not to have meat in my salad. It doesn't make it.
Either or.
It doesn't matter.
I found it really easy to substitute things for meat.
Such as?
Asparagus tips.
Oh.
I'll saute the asparagus tips in butter and pepper.
Oh.
And get them just...
You know what I like to saute in onion and cumin?
What?
Is mushrooms.
You just can put them on anything? I
can just eat them like that. Sauteed mushrooms.
Sliced or the whole mushroom?
Sliced, and usually it's portobellos. And saute it with some onion and cumin.
Why cumin? That's Mexican, isn't it?
I absolutely love it that way, with some butter. Absolutely amazing.
Why cumin? I can see basil.
I
can see rosemary.
No idea. I do cumin, and I tried it once, and I was hooked ever since.
Did you see it somewhere, or you just decided
it just came in my head.
Really?
Came to my head, yeah.
My mom used to vinegarize cucumbers and onions.
Yes.
And she'd leave a plate. She'd leave a plate on the counter.
Yes.
It was actually, a casserole dish.
Yes, and you just go by and you grab one, put a tomato in there too. And I'm not even a big tomato fan, but to do it like that with the cucumber, the onion, the little sugar.
Did she put sugar? I see. A little sugar and the vinegar.
Amazing.
Interesting. That might be the missing ingredient.
Yeah.
Wow.
A little sugar.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's just a sign of spring and summer in the house when that bowl came out.
Then when you have your fried green tomatoes.
Well, that's fall. You got to wait for the tomatoes to grow.
Not green. That's summer.
Well, yeah, midsummer. It's not going to be, I guess, summer, instead of spring.
Yeah.
And you're a green tomato fan?
From time to time. I only know one person who does them right.
Uh-oh.
One person.
What
and he knows who it is.
Well, what do you call right?
I can't explain it. I think it's just him.
It's got to have a crunch.
It's a perfect crunch.
And it can't be mushy.
Perfect.
Okay.
One person.
It's a fast fry.
I don't know what he does. He won't tell me.
Well, you gonna tell us so we can go get some, or
he won't? I can't tell you this.
It's not a restaurant. I take it.
It's not a restaurant.
And you don't want us knocking down his door.
Absolutely not.
And I think I know who he is.
Oh, okay.
So it would be a commute. All right. Why did we get on food? Oh, because I was telling you about my brisket. So I guess I want to put another plea out. Internet, airwaves. If you guys know anybody that works on Priuses, Toyota Priuses, I need a Priuses. I need a Priuses.
A Priuses surgeon.
There you go. A Priuses mechanic is what I need.
Surgeon.
I also need a real estate agent.
I may know someone. I'll call and find out if they know how to work on a Prius.
On Priuses?
Yeah.
Okay, do that.
Okay.
And I'm also looking for a real estate agent. Someone from Flint. I think I got a property that I'm going to sell. Yeah. Well, I know I got a property. And I know I'm going to sell it.
You just need someone.
I need somebody that I like to share in this. I've looked it up, and I thought about selling it on my own for sale by owner. And the bottom line is, guy, I watched several videos, and they're all real estate agents trying to scare you out of it.
Oh yeah. Of course.
So I watched them with a grain of salt, understanding their motives. But one guy broke down the math, and he says, "You're still going to have to pay for a lawyer. You're still going to have to pay for this. You're still going to pay this. You're going to save maybe 2 points.
Wow.
And you're going to add all this work, all this worry, all this burden to yourself. Is it really worth it?" And when you think about it, no, it isn't. Not when you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And I can read as much as I want to read. I could watch as many videos as I want to watch, but I still don't have a contract. So I'd have to pay somebody to write a contract, steal a contract, read it, and make sure that I was making the changes properly, or hire
Right.
a lawyer
Right.
to read it. So the bottom line is that the commission that I think I'm going to end up paying a realtor is going to take all
Save
that
some
burden off of
you.
me.
Yeah, like it.
And it's also going to share the wealth with somebody here in the
Right.
city of Flint.
Right.
As opposed to grabbing a Grand Blanc realtor or a Swartz Creek realtor or anything like that.
Right.
I am looking for a little experience. No new licensees. If the ink on your realtor's license is brand new.
And why is that?
Unless they're partnered with a senior person, they're in the same boat that I am, as a not knowing.
But they know more than you.
Or they went to the class. They might not have enough real world experience. And I find that classroom instruction isn't as accurate.
And that's why I tell people all the time, just because especially when hiring a person, and you have people that's been doing the job, and you go outside of the job to hire someone because they have a classroom education and they've never worked in the real world, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. Well, unless you're planning to have them as a mentor-mentee kind of
apprentice.
Yes. Right.
Well, I don't know how the real estate industry works, but I would hope that would be the case, where you would come out of school and like an internship in a residency for a doctor.
Well, as a cosmetologist, you just go get your spot after you get out of school. But you've been practicing for a long time while in school. You're just not doing seat work. You know what I'm saying? You're actually hands-on.
Right.
So that makes a difference.
Well, I'm a big fan of the Barber College.
Yeah.
I love the Barber College.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm helping them.
You are.
You know what I mean? They get a chance.
Experience.
So I want to go to the dental college, and I want to go to the foot college and the ear college and the balding college. Do they have those?
I'm not sure.
So they can practice? I mean, it's all practice, right?
All of it. That's why it's called practicing medicine. All of it is practice. Remember that, ma'ams and sirs. Every time you go to the doctor, they are practicing medical practice. Medical practice. They say that in the term, medical practice.
It's a law practice too.
Law practice. They are practice. Some of them have perfected some areas, but remember, we are all guinea pigs every time we step in there. Practicing law practice. Medical practice. Come on now, remember those things. So don't make them Jesus. Don't make them God. Don't make them your universe.
Research and find holistic names.
Come on
Is
now.
that what you're saying? Is that
I'm
what you're
just saying? I'm just putting that out there. What they do with it is up to them.
Well, I mean, the question is to question.
That's the question.
You know what I mean?
Don't ever say, okay, this my doctor said, and my doctor said, and my doctor said.
Show me the work. Show me the work. Show me why
and
you
I'm
said
not
that.
saying don't listen to your doctor, but don't let him be all the last resort. Participate in your healing or whatever you
ask
call
more
yourself
questions about your dry cleaning than you will of your doctor.
Oh my God.
Hey, y'all didn't use no starch on that, did you?
But the doctor can give you this prescription, and you see that it says
Take
it can
this, that,
cause
and the
this,
other
that,
thing.
this, that, and the other, and death.
Well, I tell people to interview their doctors.
You have to.
You got to see how many kids they got in college, where they live. Did they just buy the house?
Right.
Do they have a summer home?
And then you have to remember, they work for you. You don't work for them. They work for you. If you don't like that doctor, if that doctor is not fulfilling your need, go to another doctor. You're not tied to that doctor.
Well, you kind of are with these health insurances, aren't you?
I don't know. I think as long as you're you still have to be able to find one that fit you. You're not stuck. You may be stuck in a
series of 200 or 300 doctors.
Right.
And if you can't find a doctor within that, it's got to be you.
Okay, come on now.
Yeah. Well, I met a doctor. I really liked him, but he's in the insurance system. He can't take cash customers.
Well, most doctors can't. And they can. They choose not to. Holistic practitioners, they do.
Take
most of them because
insurance.
the insurance won't cover them.
Of course, right. So I guess they practice just as much as the other folks practice, don't they?
Practice just as much as, that's why you have to participate. It's up to you to do some of the research as well, and to eat correctly.
Yeah.
Some of the responsibility is left up to you.
So in picking a life coach, do you want to pick someone with the body type and the appearance that you want to eventually have?
No, that's not. If I were to pick a life coach, there would be certain qualities in that person that I would desire to have, or a certain status. So it all depends on what you're looking for.
Well, you wouldn't expect your physical trainer to be out of weight.
You said physical trainer.
I'm going there. I'm going there. But your life coach or your food guru, the one who's talking about how you should eat, should also probably be not obese. Would you think?
Yeah, that would make sense.
You know what I mean?
Right. And that's why with my juice therapy, not only am I helping other people, I am doing it my own self.
So not only am I the owner, but I am
a
member.
participant. Correct.
Nice. But what I was trying to say is, do you have to project your end product on the people that you deal with?
Do you have to project it?
Yeah, is that...
That would just be, to me, what you're saying to me, it would be, and I'm going to use Christianity because that's something I know.
But we only got 6 minutes. You can't use Christianity in 6 minutes.
So what I'm saying is that just because I'm a Christian doesn't mean I don't live another life. Does that make sense? But everything... A lot of people don't live outside of their Christianity. Does that make sense? Everything has to be Christ-oriented. It's weird to me.
Okay, I know those type of people.
It's
24/7, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
Yeah, and then they judge other people because they don't do that. But is that Christ-like?
I don't know. Christ lived.
But he lived among the people.
He lived. So therefore he washed his hands, he stubbed his toe, he chewed bubble gum.
He got angry and threw over tables.
You read that part.
I read that part.
Yeah, well, people can be confined by whatever confines them.
And they look down at other people for not doing the same.
I guess what I'm saying is, if I went to pick a holistic guru,
practitioner,
do I want someone that looks like me, or do I want somebody who looks like the me I want to be?
It all depends on.
That would have been a much better way of saying the whole thing.
Yeah, I think you would want to. I don't know, because sometimes people can give great advice but don't do what they, I don't know. I think you have to figure that out in the interview process.
Did you see the Will Smith interview?
I did not.
The Smiths, I think it's called. It's him, Jada, and I don't know who the other lady was.
Was her mother?
It might have been Jada's mother. She did favor Jada. It looked like Jada's mother and the daughter were around like a kitchen table.
Oh, that's their show.
And they were talking about how they had met and how they almost hadn't met and how they handled the violence in their relationship. And how, it was wonderful.
No,
it came in
I've never
on
seen it.
after I did a live of Whose Opinion Is It Anyway with Candace.
Okay.
And I'm playing with this little watch party thing on Facebook.
Okay.
I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm doing it.
Okay.
And I shut down the broadcast.
Excuse me.
I shut down the broadcast here, went next door and looked down, and the Smiths was playing on the watch party that I had started. And I didn't know how I did it. But I watched it.
Okay.
And it was pretty good.
Really?
It was pretty good.
So what did you learn?
I learned that they were they were, what are they called, cross lovers? That they were supposed to meet a couple of times and they never met.
Oh.
And missing those like he was Alfonso was supposed to introduce her to him that one night.
Okay.
And he saw another girl with this guy, with the guy that Alfonso said that she was going to be with, and said, "Who's that?" And he introduced them and ended up marrying her.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he said he refused to give her a divorce, and she demanded a divorce. So, it was really a good interview. It really was. I was impressed. I was trying to visualize all the tabloid headlines and things
that went along with that.
Right.
Okay.
And now this is the true story to all the BS that people were talking junk about them breaking up and doing this and doing that. It's pretty good. I'm not really into that celebrity kind of stuff, but Will Smith has been an idol of mine.
Sometimes stories like that are inspiring and cause you to think.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I've loved his journey.
Really.
And I like that song he had. He had a line in the song said his paycheck comes on a flatbed truck.
That's what I aspire to do, is that my paycheck come on a flatbed truck. Yes. Yes.
That was just fabulous.
I like it.
It made me smile. The visual there was just...
when you said it,
and
I
actually,
saw it.
It was a retort to people saying that he was bougie for not cussing in his music.
He said, I don't
And
care.
his response was, I don't care, my paycheck come on a flatbed truck.
Okay, come on now. That's what I'm talking about.
We got 60 seconds, Donna. What you going to do? You going to say goodbye?
I say, until we meet again, my loves. Mwah. Smooches.
What is up next? I can't remember. What comes on at 2 o'clock? Man, I can't remember.
Mr. Bell, right?
No. Brother Bell is ill.
Oh.
Yes. And I have rumors about rumors, but I'm not going to start no rumors. But I'll talk to you offline.
Okay.
And we'll always send our best.
Love.
Yeah, I always send her love to him.
Right.
All right. I've got 7 seconds. You done?
Mwah.
All right. Listen, guys, it's WFOV 92.1 LPFM Flint, Our Voices Radio. We're determined to make a difference, but we need you too. 810-259-9789. That's 810-259-9789. Mom, all they're going to do is because of you. Goodbye, everybody.